said the
you gotta
Twitter
flex.
algorithm's feeding you crazy shit anyway.
Yeah.
Yo, good afternoon and welcome to the Stokastic.com Underdog Strategy Show presented by, well, obviously, Underdog Fantasy. And if you're not there yet, if you're just somehow stumbling upon this video, fantastic promo offer over there on Underdog. Sign up, follow along, tail the picks if you want, make your own picks, jump in some of these drafts with us, however you want to play it. Link in the description and in chat. 100% first match deposit bonus up to $100, meaning you click that link, you sign up, you put $100 in, you now have 200. Maybe you only have $10. Well, now you got 20. Great offer, 100% deposit match bonus up to $100 over at Underdog. They just announced the $15 million NFL best ball contest. Huge payouts they're going to have for football. Got great stuff for baseball, basketball, and everything in between. I'm Dave Loughran at Lafayette_D, joined by Neil Orfield at Player Q DFS, coming hot off the MLB Live Before Lock show. What's up, man?
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of chance to look at what's actually offered tonight. Like, do we have a single game tournament that we can enter? Maybe Jordan can look that up for us. I imagine we have a draft that we can do for just the Boston Philly game today. That could be a fun one. I know you get deep into the weeds of your Sixers here. But yeah, I'm excited to be on the show. I did come right hot from the MLB show Live Before Lock. They're excited to be here. And yeah, as you probably know, Lofty, I did a couple Underdog NFL streams on Thursday and Friday of last week. Was a lot of fun, just like reacting to the draft and how it's going to affect ADPs for Best Ball Mania. Now, of course, we can see what the actual ADPs are. I've already jumped into like 5 Best Ball Mania 4 drafts. I love this shit. This NFL Best Ball is just so fun to me. But then just these daily contests are fun as well. I really do like all of the Underdog offerings. I take advantage of it like every day.
Before we get into this, I have a strategic question for you. Probably very helpful for anybody out there who might be relatively new to this or just isn't familiar with the best way to go about it. So this is already open, right? The Best Ball Mania 4.
Yep.
Okay. $15 million prize pool. It's already open. It's also May. So you've got May, June, July, August. There are going to be drafts that you could do now that work out really well for you, or ones where, you know, 3 of the top 7 guys you drafted hurt themselves in training camp or the preseason, although they don't really play in the preseason anymore. You get the point. And they're out for a significant period of time. Do you think it's wiser to spread your drafts out across all of these months? Or are you front loading it? Are you back loading it closer to the draft? Because you said you already did some. What are your thoughts on how to go about maxing something like this? Or even if, Neil, even if you're only playing 5 entries, how would you go about doing that?
All right, guys, go to my Twitter right now. I'm about to retweet a tweet that, as you were talking about this, I thought this is a good time. It's a really interesting thread that a guy named Fantasy Mojo did about this exact topic, like when is the best time to draft. And he said, if you take a deeper look at who made it, the 470 teams in the final last year for Best Ball Mania 3, you'll see that May leagues had teams in the finals at about the same rate as ones closer to the season in August and September. There was no significant advantage either way in terms of when you draft. So I personally like to draft throughout the summer. I'm also doing 150 drafts, so like kind of have to, like you can't do 150 drafts in a week, at least not well. So I like to do it throughout the summer. I also think like information changes. There are edges early on. I think that's the reason that we see about the same number throughout the different months, is that different information brings different edges. Like right now, the edge is in not knowing stuff. Like the edge is in not knowing what's going to happen. So you might end up with, like, for example, last year, Dameon Pierce, he moved up like 80 spots in ADP throughout the summer because it became clear that he was going to be the lead back for Houston. Some of that stuff, like if you go right now, you can build like super teams, at least theoretically. You can get a bunch of like guys that are in split backfields that maybe are going to become the bell cow later on, and you're going to have to pay up for them in those drafts. A lot of the combos that you could get now, you might not be able to get later on. So definitely some advantages to drafting those right now. But for me, I think that there's different advantages throughout the summer. So I like to spread it out throughout the summer. Yeah, and I think I would do the same thing if I were just doing 5 drafts. I'd probably do like 1 per month from now until September if I were only planning on doing 5.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's sensible too, because while there may not be a discernible difference, doing everything this early still, I don't know, still seems like it might get you into, only because like there's amazing opportunities now, but we also know there's going to be incredible opportunities late in the summer too, right? Like
Yeah.
where there's injuries and then you're getting, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but
No, so
like you said,
absolutely. I mean, and it's also like you have less information now. Like some people like to factor in like week 17 correlation because that's where most of the prize money is won. You can't do that now because we don't have the schedule out. So like there's a lot of stuff that you don't know now. Right now you're drafting without a lot of information. So like there's pros and cons to that. But ultimately you're gonna theoretically you could draft some like super teams that you wouldn't be able to draft later on.
all right. So Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong, but we do not have any basketball contest today outside of like head to heads and stuff, right? Or three mans. I don't. Oh wait,
Oh,
that's
oh, it's for
Thursday.
Wednesday
Oh,
and
it's
Thursday. Oh,
Wednesday,
so far it's a
Thursday.
2 game. That's actually kind of convenient. That
We'll
we
do
can
it.
do a 2 gamer. Yeah, for
We'll
sure.
do it for sure. Okay. Let's get into some pick 'em first. So Underdog has the pick 'em format, which is very cool. That's not going to be available to everybody in every state. Uh, for me personally, because I'm in a legal betting state, not illegal. I'm in a legal betting state. I don't have pick 'em. I can still see everything though, and we still have the pick 'em pro tool. But I do have all of the daily drafts. I still have all of the best ball. So I play on Underdog all the time, particularly leading up to football season. You have both because you're not in a legal betting state.
Correct. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
actually play this stuff. And I think Jordan's on my account right now, so could place a bet for us.
So let's go ahead and dive into this. Now, I'm just pulling up Pick 'em Pro here, and let me mention to you guys as well. For MLB, the strikeout props have just been absolutely killing it for the Pick 'em Pro tool. Like Odd Shopper and NBA Bet Pro, which Pick 'em Pro is part of that. If you had bet $100 on all of the top XROI bets each day, now not everyone can do that, but just to give you an idea, before 5 minutes before lock, since the start of baseball season, you'd be up $80,000. That's how much they've crushed. So if you're looking for an edge, we have Underdog projections and everything you need to know to make all of the best selections, to make all the best pick 'em lineups over at Stokastic.com. Link to that is in the description if you wanted to try that out. First week is entirely free on top of it. All right, so let's do this. Now, I want to mix up. This is the Underdog Strategy Show, but is this specific? It's the NBA. I'm fuck it, dude. I'm throwing some baseball in there if we find
Some
something
better
good.
bets there. Yeah, might as well. I mean, people just want the best bets here. I don't think it hurts anything.
Yeah, we only have one game. Like, for example, Dylan Cease under 7.5 strikeouts today. We have it at a 58% win percentage. I honestly would like to just throw that one in there with how the strikeout props have performed for us on the Bet Pro, on the Pick 'em Pro tool. Pick 'em Pro is just for all the Pick 'em sites, by the way, if you're wondering what the differentiation is there. Let's throw that in. I'll go first on this one. Throw that one in there. This is just one of those spots where you go ahead and you trust that your top X win bet on the site, we have it projected at 6.8, and I'm going to get into some basketball too, is a spot that we want to take. So I think it'd be silly for us only to do NBA on a 1-game slate if we're passing up some of the top options in baseball too.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then I think, I mean, as long as we're including some baseball here, and those are some of our best bets on the day, I think we might as well throw that Marcus Stroman in there too, over 4 strikeouts. I think strikeout props are just generally more predictable just because there's like more instances. Like if you're just betting on at bats for batters, like, we can have some idea, but it's harder. It's less predictable in general. But with pitchers and strikeouts, there's they're pitching 6-7 innings often, so I think you can actually, it's a little bit more projectable. So if we can take the higher on Marcus Stroman 4 strikeouts, I think that would be a nice addition as well before we jump into the basketball side of things.
All right, so we're over on Stroman, we're under on Dylan Cease. Let's get into some basketball here. And again, like a lot of the best props are for baseball right now,
Yeah,
but that's okay. I like James Harden over 8 assists in this game. I know against Brooklyn, James Harden wasn't necessarily dishing out dimes at an insane clip, but at the same time, you've got Joel Embiid back. I do anticipate his minutes being a little bit limited here. Understandably so. He was doubtful, then straight to expected to play, coming off that MVP win yesterday, which we knew was coming his way. We've got Harden projected at 9.3 assists. I still expect Harden to see considerable usage in this game. There's no doubt about that. But as your primary ball handler, in a game that had a 10-point spread and in some spots has dipped down to 7, I just think 8 assists is too low on a guy who is going to play 40 minutes tonight. I mean, to me, it's just, I'll take the over on Harden assists all day long if I'm getting 8. I mean, it's 8.5 on DraftKings. It's 8.5 in a bunch of other spots at even money. Of course, it's 8 here with no juice. Give me James Harden over 8 assists. We have him projected at 9.3, 54% win percentage, expected win on this.
I like that call. Yeah, let's go with that. And man, sort of related. I guess it's a little bit correlated at least. I also like the over on PJ Tucker points. The line is just 3.5 there for PJ
you
Tucker
are a
points.
bold man.
I know it's tough, but we've got him projected for 5 points. He averaged 3.5 points per game during the season, playing about 26 minutes per game. We've got him projected for just under 29 minutes tonight. So, it's season average in 3 fewer minutes per game than what we have him projected for tonight. It's obviously risky anytime you're going with one of these really low lines because it's just like one shot falling versus not falling, but we have that shot falling more often than not. So I like the over on 3.5 points. It's just a very low line, even for PJ Tucker, and it correlates nicely with the Harden. Obviously, the more his teammates score, the more Harden is likely to get assists. Obviously, very little correlation when we're talking about a line of 3.5, but at least something there.
Do you know how difficult and horrible it is sweating PJ? I had the PJ Tucker over half a 3 the one game.
Yeah. Or it's over in the first quarter though, Laffy. Or it's over in the first quarter.
What do you mean?
He could hit 3.5 points. He could hit that in the first quarter too.
He could.
So it can be an awful sweat if he's not hitting early on.
Absolutely.
Laffy.
But like I had over half a 3 because a lot of times if PJ Tucker scores any points, he's going to finish with 3.
Right.
He attempted 5 of them, hit none of them. And like, you'll take that any day of the week if you're getting 5 attempts, but man, sweating PJ or like sweating under 1.5 or under a half a 3 type bets is really a miserable existence. Doesn't mean it's a bad bet. Right. Just mean it's not fun.
Yeah. Well, Laffy, it's not really on point, but just reminding me of this. Yesterday I had a card that was I did a six pick card where I had 4 out of the first 5 had hit. The other was a push. And then the final pick was Steph Curry over 5.5 rebounds. And with 5.5 minutes left in the game, Steph Curry had 0 rebounds. I had the over on 5.5 rebounds. He got 6 rebounds in the final 5.5 minutes of the game. To win.
Oh, you had to. Just reminded me of the sweat.
I thought I stopped paying attention. I looked back. I was like,
"That's crazy."
He got 6 rebounds. Like that was even at halftime. 0 rebounds at halftime. I was like, "There's no way Steph Curry is going to get 6 rebounds in a half of a game." And then of course he does it in 5.5 minutes at the end. That was just
awesome,
incredible. Yeah,
that is awesome. All right, I'm going to go Al Horford under on points. I can give you a few reasons for this. First off, he's at 8.5 points, right? Could he get there? Sure. But do you know what his usage rate is this postseason? Take a guess.
Al Horford?
Yeah, take a guess what his use. Don't look for anything. Just take a guess. You'll be wrong. Not your fault.
20.
You'll be wrong on this.
I'm trying to even think like what an average usage rate is. I'll go 20%.
9%.
Jesus. Okay. I know that's low.
9%. What's that?
I said, I know that's low. I don't know like what the average is, but that is definitely low.
Yeah. I mean, there's not really an average. It's different than like average, average, like weighted on base average or average strikeout rate. Because
but like a star will have like 30%, right? Like
yeah, generally speaking, like a star player, if it's Embiid, it's close to 40, which is insane. But yeah, star players, you're talking, 30, 34, 35%. Yeah. But I just mean like average is different in baseball because there's nothing tied to it. Like a strikeout rate is a strikeout rate and it's not influenced by anyone else on your team. But, in this case, still 9% usage rate for Al Horford in the postseason. I know he's gone over this in 2 games, but in his last 2 games, but you look at it, 3.0, 8, 8, 6. I mean, 4 attempts, 6, 7, 2, 5. Then he has 8 in back-to-back, but he's shooting over 50%. Like, I don't know. He never gets to the line. Al Horford does not have a free throw attempt since He does not have a free throw attempt since March 17th.
Wow. Really? That's insane.
Yeah, give me the under on Al Horford points here.
Yeah, Pete Shepard, if Horford is hitting his threes, that bet is did at halftime. Yeah, but if he's not, it's very live at halftime. And I want to respond. Pete Shepard says, haha, you guys are talking about best ball, and I got screwed doing 3 drafts last night for the NBA because everything and Embiid wouldn't play. Yeah, it's actually the same concept. We were talking about NFL best ball, like why it makes sense to do some drafts early and some drafts late. Like there's pros and cons. It's the same thing with these daily drafts when we don't have complete information. Because yesterday, if you were drafting last night, you were getting Embiid at a discount probably because some people were very hesitant to take Embiid. You could get him in like the second or third round, I would guess. So people will probably let Embiid slip, whereas now like he's probably going to play. So he obviously jumps up. So it's actually the same kind of concept for these daily drafts where we don't have complete information that there's pros and cons to drafting early and drafting late, etc. So yeah, kind of an interesting parallel there. And yeah, somebody else asked, I guess it was Pete again, says, so more assist, Dave, because he'll score less with Embiid on the floor. It's kind of true. I mean, it's both. He'll score less, but he'll also be passing to better scorers in general. So Embiid should help him get more assists.
Yeah, his usage rate is going to be down. I mean, there's no doubt about that. His usage rate is going to be down. Talking about James Harden, he's still going to, in my opinion, get a lot of opportunities. But sure. What I'm saying is, if you look at the other playmakers on the, Tobias Harris is not a playmaker. Neither is PJ Tucker. He doesn't touch the ball. Tyrese Maxey, sure, like if Harden's off the floor, he'll have some opportunities, but he's not a primary like point guard style player. It's Harden. You look at Embiid. Of his assisted field goals this year, 244 of them were assisted by James Harden. The next closest player is Maxey at 66, then Harris at 43. So yeah, a large percent of assisted field goals that Joel Embiid has this year are coming from James Harden. Yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, over 50% of them, like 60% of them.
That's a lot. Yeah. A Guido guy one says, how about Harden points plus assists? I don't see that bet showing up in our tool anywhere. So I think I'd be more inclined to just take the assist, but if I knew the line, maybe I'd be able to give you a.
Well, we have Harden over on PRA as the third, essentially tied for the best bet over at UnderDog.
Yeah. So you could go PRA instead of assist. I don't know if there's just a points plus assist, but you could definitely go with PRA there.
Jordan, can you just read aloud what these are so everybody knows? Yeah.
Yeah, but Al Horford.
Or just scroll. I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll do it. Horford under 8.5 points. Then we have PJ Tucker over 3.5 points. Then we have Harden over 8 assists. Okay. Then we have Dylan Cease under 7.5 strikeouts. It was under, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then Stroman over 4 strikeouts.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Should we do a draft real quick?
Yeah, let's do a draft. So I have not done these like according to our projections. We also don't.
Hold on real quick. Jordan, while we're talking, just enter this, please. So we're good to go. Go ahead, Neil.
So I have not put in projections from Stokastic's projections, but I think we can do a draft just fine without those projections, just using our knowledge of the game.
For sure. Guido guy said 29.5 points plus assists for Harden. Off the top of my head, yes, I like that. Off the top of my head, yes, I definitely like that.
Yeah, I think that seems like a line that I would like also. We haven't projected for 9.3 assists. What do we have for points? And 23 points. So yeah, that looks good by our projections.
Yeah, for sure. He could give you a 20 and 10. He could give you, a 23 and 7. There's a lot of ways he can get there. Yeah. And I do expect him to just be more assertive in a spot like this. Just all over. All right. So draft starts in 33 seconds. Nice. We're drafting 5th.
Yeah. Fourth and 5th. So it's a 4-person draft. So we have the turn there,
okay.
Which I don't mind that one bit. I think that's actually, we can get.
Oh, no, that's great.
Yeah. So because it's pretty close to the top with Embiid, Tatum, Davis, who's after, I guess, Curry. We can get 2 out of those 5, Embiid, Tatum, Davis, LeBron, and Curry.
I actually love this. This is a problem we ran into last time, thinking that getting Giannis would be big for us at the 1, but then we just kind of went in a dead zone for our second and third picks.
We got Nick Lepre in the draft. Took Tatum number 1. Wow. Okay.
I like that. I have no problem.
Yeah, I don't hate that either.
You can't go Embiid number 1.
Yeah, I guess he's a little bit. Yeah, I guess maybe Tatum was the 101 there. So maybe that was just the general pick there.
I mean, Anthony Davis definitely viable, but Tatum played what, 44 minutes last game or something insane.
Insane, yeah.
He played 44 minutes. Yeah, he played the entire second, third, and fourth quarter. He did outside of halftime. He did not come off the floor since the first quarter. Yeah. If Embiid's there, we have to. It's a $5 draft. If Embiid's there, we have to take him
at the turn. We'll take him. Yeah.
Right.
Like not worth taking the risk at 101, but at the turn, sure. Give me Embiid.
Yeah, of course.
Would you Embiid, LeBron, Embiid, Curry, Embiid, Brown? What are you thinking here?
Man, we got a lot of options, huh?
Really, this is a pretty stacked. Okay, they took Embiid.
Yeah. All right, I'm perfectly fine going. I like Curry down 0-1 at home.
I do too.
Going into game 2, like I like Curry quite a bit here. I don't think he has nearly as bad a shooting performance. I like Brown too, but for me, it would be LeBron and Curry. What about you?
I do too. I like the correlation. Let's game stack it a little bit with LeBron and Curry.
Let's do it. If I recall looking at this earlier, significantly higher total too, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you'd expect the 2 fastest paced teams in the entire league.
Yeah, 11 points higher than the Philly-Boston game.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, Pete Shepard says James and Curry on the turn for you guys. Yeah, I love that.
That's a real nice turn. I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
We really did think, because we weren't sure what the depth looked like when we did it last week. Getting Giannis 1 felt good until it came back around to us.
Right. It was like, oh shit, we there's like a tier break right before our pick.
And it was like 7-point projection tier break.
Yeah, exactly.
Like all of the 45s and then down to, what was it, like 37, 38?
Right. Just huge. We don't have any like questionable players in the game tomorrow, right? Not that I can think of.
There should not be. As far as significant ones go, I don't think so.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
Let me see.
Man, he took Draymond with the 6th pick.
That's a bad pick.
Over James Harden.
Over Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, who did that?
And he has a red badge, so he's an inexperienced player. That surprised me.
That doesn't make a ton of sense.
No,
but I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, go right ahead. All right.
So
Nick Lepre got both Tatum and Brown, and then with Tyrese Maxey on the comeback. I don't mind the build he's doing either.
I don't hate that at all, especially if Embiid's not 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's good for that game tomorrow, as of now, unless we get updated injury report and it looks different. All right, so we're gonna have some options here.
Yep.
It thins out a little bit for sure, but
I feel like it thins out more after. I think the top 3 right now look pretty good to me. We can get. Is it Klay Thompson? Give me Klay Thompson all day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Klay Thompson for sure.
And then what do you think, Brogdon?
Well, I'll say this much. A couple of things. One, we could go Russell. That's a weird rotation there, because you know that he still played 33 minutes. Schroeder played 31 minutes in that game. So that was pretty interesting. The rest of the bench just didn't get minutes. So I think Russell's pretty secure there. Klay Thompson's definite. The only thought I have, and you can tell me what you think. It is possible, although unlikely, that Marcus Smart with that chest contusion doesn't play. I think he's got to play, but he is questionable. So it would make Malcolm Brogdon more interesting. That's what I'll lay out for you, but I'm happy with either.
I said we keep going with the game stack and go D'Lo.
Let's do it. Perfectly
because
fine with that.
We've got a beautiful game stack going here. Now we have 2 from each team. Looks really good here.
Plus, I just can't imagine that Smart.
It seems unlikely that Marcus Smart, like he's one of those players that is not going to unless he really can't go.
And he came back to the game.
Yeah,
he's got to play. If he doesn't, it's going to suck that we didn't get Brogdon. But
it is. Yeah, it's gonna bite us.
But it's just I just don't think there's any way he sits today.
it goes back to what we were talking before with like there are pros and cons to drafting with less information. Because right now, if that is the case, then Brogdon is a steal right now. But we're just making the assumption that he's going to that Marcus Smart is going to play
for sure. All right. So how many picks do we have now left?
We've got two more left.
Two more. Okay.
Pete Shepard says, I feel like stacking the deck in a draft like this would be easy if people collude. They do have, they pay attention to collusion a bit. I know that a lot of people in best ball drafts last year, at least, drafts were canceled because people like were clearly colluding. It's hard to track, obviously, but I don't think it's been a huge problem so far.
I get what he's saying, but yeah. Who do we have coming up?
We can get Brogdon. Oh no, sorry. This is Nick is up now. I was thinking that we were coming up soon, but we've got several before us.
Yeah. Scroll down a little bit, Jordan. Let's see what we got.
I mean, Derek White, the same logic applies. He would benefit if Marcus Smart is out.
Yeah, he absolutely would. Yeah. Reeves is enticing. There's another.
Reeves is enticing.
He's playing 38, 40 minutes a game in regulation.
Yeah, and he continues our game stack. So if we can get Austin Reeves, I'm all about that.
I mean, Schroeder was nice off the bench, and he had a bigger overall game than Reeves. But Reeves is just so much more secure in minutes. I'd rather have him.
All right, so we didn't get our guys here. Is Dennis Schroeder the top here?
Oh, Reeves is gone.
Brogdon. So we could still get Brogdon and hope for Marcus Smart. I mean, he's a fine play. He's a fine play even if Marcus Smart does play, which is obviously likely.
Yeah, I would take Brogdon. And honestly, I don't mind playing for upside here with Robert Williams.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, let's go Brogdon Williams.
Like with Robert Williams now, how do they use him more that Embiid is back? It's a question worth asking. We've seen him play some bigger minutes, and when he does, he crushes. Yeah. Robert Williams, I like ending the draft with that.
And this is FanDuel scoring, so it's 3 points per block. So that obviously helps Robert Williams as well. So yeah, I like that call.
I like this draft.
Yeah, I think that went really well.
I like it a lot more than last week.
I do too. Yeah, I feel like drafting at the turn here is probably better than that 101 spot.
Sweet.
Yeah, love it.
All right. Well, let's see let's see what we got here. So we got Curry and LeBron at the 1 and 2, right?
Yep. And we got Clay and D'Lo at the 3 and 4.
Okay. And then we rounded it out with Brogdon, who I think fell too far.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And Robert Williams.
He's a good play even with Marcus Smart in there at the 19 spot, or I guess the 20 spot. Yeah, give me Brogdon at that 20 spot for sure.
Brogdon played over 33 minutes last game, and Smart played 35.
Yeah.
I mean, there obviously with Robert Williams and Malcolm Brogdon, like how many minutes are there to go around? Because you got Tatum that's going to play a ton, Brown's going to play a ton. Right. Horford's probably going to play 30 or so, but I still think there's room for both of those guys to get decent minutes.
Definitely. Yeah. I think, and like Robert Williams, what do you need? Like 23 minutes or something to pay off this price tag at the 21 spot?
If you got to that ceiling in minutes that we've seen a couple times against Atlanta, then we're in business.
And Dreamtown USA goes to the Paul Reed pick. That's an interesting one because it's like betting on maybe Joel Embiid is limited, maybe gets maybe still hobbled, gets hurt mid game. Suddenly Paul Reed looks like a great pick again. I don't hate it.
No, it's
assuming he doesn't have Embiid already.
I mean, I probably would have gone Schroeder there just because he's playing more minutes, but you could do worse. Yeah. You could definitely do worse. Paul Reed's a good per minute guy.
Yeah.
All right. Nice, man. We got a 5 pick. We got 5 play pick 'em in, 2 baseball, 3 NBA. Got a nice drafting out of the 4 spot.
Yep.
Feeling good about this tonight.
Me too. I feel like that went well for us.
What else you got going on that people should know about?
Nothing today. This is actually my final show of the day, which is a rare, like not having any night stuff going on today. I'll be back tomorrow doing another MLB strategy show in the morning. I don't remember what I have. I think I have another live show during the afternoon tomorrow, and then I'm off once again in the evening. And then Friday back to the usual. I'll be on NBA Live Before Lock, MLB, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, a little bit lighter right now than it has been for me recently. How about you, Laffy?
I don't know, man. I'm done for the day.
I gotta pick
my I got to pick my daughter up at daycare on Wednesdays. I get her, so I'm going to get her head front loaded throughout the day. But we'll be back tomorrow. NBA strategy show, odd shop, deeper dive, all that good stuff. So you know where to find all of us. Neil at Player Q DFS, me at Lafayette_D, and shout out to Jordan Klein as always for producing this one. See you back here on Friday on the Underdog Strategy Show. Peace.